Yeah, did you want to dig into FleetPass a little bit?
If you want to, or we can dig into a little bit more about maybe where you got what your background is when it comes to coding and how that whole journey in life got started. You tell me.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Let's
Take
go.
it where
Let's
you
start
want
there.
to. Okay, let's
Yeah,
do
let's
that.
start
Yeah.
there. So, my background is in Devops.
Okay.
I worked for about 10 years in a software company doing Linux system administration, high availability emergency systems, and tech support. So I started at the bottom of the tech support team and worked my way through that, and eventually became the manager of that department. And that was about 10 years of my career right at the very beginning, which kind of led into a bit of family history. My dad was a cinematographer. He worked um, for IMAX for a number of years and developed some of their 3D camera systems.
Mm-hmm.
And he came home one day and he said, we've got this problem at work. We've got these huge cameras and we need to shrink them, and they need to be computer driven and all this stuff. And it sparked this thing in me, like, we can build this. Like, I know I have the connections in the supply system to find you all the little pieces you need. And I was building servers every day anyways, so we sat down and we designed and built one of the first 3D camera systems together, digital
That's so
camera
cool.
systems together. And so that led into a mini career in the film business. um, Worked on a number of feature films and worked for a few studios doing color grading and 3D work and stereography. And then that lifestyle isn't really good for marriage and children. And I was newly married and wanted to
Right.
start a family, and got out of that, and basically said, what is my skill set good at, and something that I can be close to my family and stuff. And so, having worked with software developers for a number of years, and seeing, you can work from home, uh, you can you can basically build anything you can think of with the right tool set, right, and with the right audience. And I really like that. And I don't think I have a natural affinity for software development. At least sitting down and coding, I find that challenging. But I took that challenge on and learned to code on my own time. Um, and I basically gave up my role as a senior DevOps guy and took a junior developer role at a company near where I live, and learned the ropes there. And I said, you know what, I'm gonna this is the sacrifice, or the change I'm gonna make to be more family oriented. And it turned out to be a great decision. I had a few years of software development, um, and that went really well. Um, but like all good things, they come to an end. The company we work for got acquired by a bigger company, and they assimilated all the software we had, and they basically let everybody go on our team, and took the project out of country, kind of thing. So
Wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
So uh, without going into too many details about that entire story,
Yeah. Yeah.
that led me to start my own business.
Beautiful.
And that's something I had done in the past, and just given the situation I was in, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to do this myself. And so for the last 3 years, I've been building my own web design company, web hosting company. And when Star Atlas came along, um, there was a really good fit there, because there was this like content gap where there's all kinds of eyeballs that want to learn about Star Atlas, and they don't have anywhere to go to get content. So along with the Deep Profits Discord, I made deepprofits.org. I made our Metaplex store. I made FleetPass.app, and it was just kind of this, like, I'm going to keep bolting stuff on here to give to the community until I have a product, essentially. And FleetPass was going to be that product. So this is a good segue into FleetPass, which was, it was like, how do you extract, how do you put all this time and energy into something, and then get something back out of it, right? Like,
Right.
this is the
Right.
conundrum that most people are having right now, especially young developers. Like, how do I build something for this ecosystem, and earn some money back? Well, you build a product that has a real world use.
Hmm.
You don't you don't create an NFT system that has no utility unless your art is like top tier. Like you got to have some utility. You got to have like a reason for people to want your product, right? So
Yeah. Yeah.
um, the only bridge that I could think of that wasn't being filled was between the guilds. Like, how do the guilds see each other's assets, and how do they recognize who has the biggest fleet and who has the smallest fleet, or who's specializing in one area or a different area? And I figured that could be done through an NFT. You could have guilds mint their own NFTs or purchase them from me, and put those NFTs in their wallets. Specific groups of NFTs go to specific groups of wallets, and then this app FleetPass tracks the assets in those wallets and collects them as
It's
if they're part of the
genius.
same team. Yeah, in the dashboard.
Yeah, that's
And
yeah.
yeah, and that's basically where that idea was born out of. And I think we have 5 guilds on there right now, and they've been awesome to work with. I've loved getting to know everybody on there, and um, I have a lot of plans for Fleet Pass, and things are moving so quickly that it's just like where do you focus your time and energy and stuff, right? So that's what I'm working out right now in the new year.